Akainu was annoyed with 𝙲𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚝 this time. And then 𝙲𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚝 turned on the velvet all the time. I don't know why. Welcome back to Hippo TV. Is Akainu a good person? Destroy all the evacuees at Akira and kill all the retreating navy, including Kobe, who prevented the sweep at the summit battle. Then good keeping? If you review chapter 11-13, you will see some things that are quite absurd. 𝙲𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚝 about 2 years ago received news of Sengoku resigning and decided to choose Akainu as his replacement. While Garp and Sengoku promoted 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚎𝚑, they were not approved by these guys, so there was a 10-day night battle at Punk Hazard. But why did this fight last so long? While Kaido was so terrible, not until one night. Only fighting always lasts that long. Brothers, like the Roger gang with the Whitebeard gang, fighting each other is called something in Pirates, and then sitting on the same plate together. There are also relationships between Akainu and 𝙲𝚘𝚎𝚑 that even we could not have expected. It's not normal for men to use force against each other, right? And back in chapter 11-13, Saint Saturn declares one verse about Akainu during his mission at O'Hara. You must be Nico Robin, the girl Akainu let go, that incompetent stupid guy, and then nominate people there? Now Akainu is like cursing yourself? From this point on, I thought of many other interesting issues related to Akainu, wanting a character that everyone thinks is an evil villain. But at the end of the day, Akainu is just a navy with absolute justice and the rule of law. With this justice, as the world reestablishes a new order, Akainu is still a very good person. If it weren't for villains like 𝙲𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚝 and Aimu in power, then surely Akainu was an extremely exemplary and principled navy. Unfortunately, Akainu's era is not the one that gives him perfect justice in his own right, as this is a time of war. In this video, I will say more because of why Saturn swears at Akainu as stupid and incompetent. Oda must have inserted the subtext in this sentence. One did not appear but was called names, one whom 𝙲𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚝 regretted until he took his seat in the admiral's chair. And thank you all for taking some of your precious time to watch your videos. Saint Saturn blames Robin's escape to Akainu. That is, the one who had at least influenced Robin to escape O'Hara somehow. For example, ignoring, not caring, or showing empathy for Robin. When watching One Piece, surely the character's childhood is something any viewer wants to see. Because that is the reason why any child becomes stronger, chooses his path in a very good way. Robin was 8 years old when his entire hometown was wiped out by Buster Call, an extremely seasoned leader of the Navy. The Buster Call fleet was sent to battle consisting of 5 vice admirals and 10 warships. In fact, to make this decision, there is also an admiral behind the decision on the attack site. To be more precise, the rear admiral is responsible for the main task, while the vice admirals will communicate and carry out the task. Now we also see Sengoku, who was largely responsible for the O'Hara incident. Akainu and 𝙲𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚝 are 2 of the 5 vice admirals sent, but the person who meets Robin is 𝙲𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚝, not Akainu. So why was the responsibility related to Akainu, even though he didn't know Robin at the time? That means there are many things that we have not seen clearly in O'Hara. Akainu also has other actions with 𝙲𝚎𝚑𝚝 here, which author Oda did not rush to announce to the viewer. Now, the name Akainu is called when it has nothing to do with Robin. If you look closely, you realize that the evacuation ship was shot down by Akainu on the orders of 𝙲𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚝 and Admiral Sengoku. Meanwhile, Akainu's face is not clearly visible. He is not at all comfortable or excited for the task of killing innocent people. There isn't any dialogue either, because it's simply absolute justice. The location was right where 𝙲𝚎𝚑 was chatting with Saul and Robin. It wasn't long before 𝙲𝚎𝚑 froze Saul, but heeded his request, without harming Robin, who was only 8 years old at the time. 𝙲𝚎𝚑 created an ice path for Robin to escape through the flames, where Buster Call continuously fired bullets at him. So then, such a huge ice road wouldn't be noticed by Akainu's level, right? You assume that 𝙲𝚎𝚑 created the gang to go after Robin on the grounds that Akainu wasn't busy. But it is called an ice road rather than an ice arrow or an ice spear. For 𝙲𝚎𝚑's class, killing an 8-year-old is like smashing a mosquito. It was clear that Akainu was also nearby, and with his caste, Akainu probably also noticed the anomaly that approached 𝙲𝚎𝚑 after exterminating the displaced people. There must have been conflicts between them, and 𝙲𝚎𝚑 disagreed with Akainu's execution according to absolute justice. Despite this, Akainu still sees Robin running on the runway created by 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚎𝚛. However, Akainu didn't go after her, which made 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚎 blame Akainu for releasing Robin. As I said at the beginning, any character has their childhood, including villains. Among the 3-4 emperors, we can also see they are victims of the worst. Big Mom was ruthlessly abandoned by her biological parents in Elbaf when she was too strong and larger than a normal person. Big Mom became an orphan and later became a pirate. Assuming Big Mom's parents raised her thoughtfully, carefully, and educated Big Mom, it wouldn't make sense for her to become a pirate, right? Kaido is a defender of vodka, a poor country that seeks to align itself with the government. It is his good fighting power that Kaido has helped the country gain victories from pirates and infiltrating forces. But because of the chair of the Levely Conference, the Vodka King rejected Kaido and sold him to the world government for status. This is an extremely terrible betrayal for a human being, and the Whitebeard, who lived in poverty on Sphinx Island. From the day he saw his homeland attacked by pirates and navies to seize resources, he tried harder to protect others, and Whitebeard became a pirate who plundered money collected for his homeland to pay cash taxes, not protected by the government. There is another thing these 3-4 emperors have in common. They are all lone children who work on their own to become the great people they are today, in the name of pirates. Evil villains in the eyes of any citizen. Their painful past is a deep source of violence from them, indisputable. Then we Akainu always criticize him as an evil, cold-blooded man who is willing to kill innocent people for his justice. But they didn't consider his role. Akainu is a soldier with the rank of Vice Admiral, working under the orders of his immediate operator, Admiral Sengoku at the time. If Akainu doesn't fulfill his responsibilities, all his efforts for justice will be gone. Just like Kobe, a person who puts in the best effort to train 200% of his ability to become stronger, protect more people. But in return, he had to become a member of SWORD. If Kobe attacked the 4 emperors or something went wrong, Kobe would be fired and could no longer stand in the Navy. All of Kobe's efforts so far will vanish when there is no longer a name for justice. As for Akainu, he is law-abiding, possibly ordered to kill displaced people, on suspicion that a scholar threatens the survival of the world. What 𝙲𝚙𝚎𝚎 invented to protect their dominance, to protect their ruling regime. In other words, Akainu, along with Kazan and Kizaru, are chess pieces in the chessboard of justice, which 𝙲𝚎𝚎 is manipulating, but the ultimate person behind Insama is not known. Destroying O'Hara and protecting millions of other innocent civilians, according to that scenario of justice, is also a logical trade-off in Akainu's mind. He merely wants to protect more innocent people. The psychological contradiction, evident on Akainu's face when he destroyed the evacuation ship, was regret and grief. Speaking of Kobe's murder, it's just one thing that has to be done right then. Because Kobe is so humane at this time, he goes to give in to the pirate age, which becomes more and more disordered. If the Navy does not destroy pirates, how can it protect the peace of the world? Even if this world is just a peaceful drama, then pirates are still evil, inhuman villains. It is rare for a pirate gang like the Redheads or the Straw Hats to help many other countries avoid pirates and evil navies. Apparently, Akainu only killed Kobe when he accidentally cooled down the Navy's temperament while winning the battle. After Shanks ends the fight, Akainu no longer wants to kill Kobe. You must also understand that the problem is that Akainu only decided to kill Kobe at that time, and there was no animosity or bitterness towards Kobe in the summit battle. There's really so much that we have to discuss. Whether it's the one-sided perspective and the shooting down of Akainu's evacuation ship, or wanting to kill Kobe along with the Navy's affects the overall development of the justice side. By comparison, the 4 emperors had unhappy childhoods like the one mentioned above to make them stronger, when Akainu would be equally harsh circumstances. While Kizaru was educated, Akainu had to fight with a knife in his hand, his body covered in blood along with a cold face of indignation. It seems that since childhood, Akainu had to fight pirates, and it was this era that pirates made him hate them more and more, evil and inhuman plunder, proving that Akainu's family has some ability to be victims of pirates. Akainu has a special background in One Piece as the son of a bloody pirate character, but in One Piece has the inheritance of his neighbor, so Akainu was determined to become a navy to destroy all pirates. Having fought pirates since childhood, Akainu vows that he must clean them up to bring peace to this world, but bitterly Roger ushers in a new pirate age after he finds the last island and names it Laugh Tale. It is imperative that Akainu take more drastic action to uphold his justice and better protect his people. Returning to Robin's issue, 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚝 said that if he knew Akainu, he must have ignored her escape more than 22 years ago. Under Akainu and Kazan there is a close relationship, which when we see them fighting for 10 days and nights for the admiral's chair, they hate each other as enemies and fight themselves. He looks back at how Kazan showed up at 𝚤𝚙𝚎 to save Smoker. He told Smoker to remind Akainu to be careful with 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚝. Akainu then tries to enter Pangaea's castle to meet 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚎, who insults the men for tolerating a pirate like 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚤. He manipulated Dressrosa and set a bad precedent for other pirates to grow stronger. In return, Akainu received only harsh scorn. But that was more than enough for Akainu to disagree with these old men in running the world. With Kazan as well, the duo will undoubtedly make some very bizarre spins for the Blackbeards and the Navy. And I'm just saying the Navy, not the government. Brothers, take note. Suppose that Akainu turned on the Velvet in Pangaea Castle to whip these old men in that room of power. What would end? Comment under this video for fun, and hopefully, you will have a new perspective on Admiral Akainu. After this video, we realize that in order to do great things, we need to stop and accept the sacrifices, right?